Here we are at the medical imaging of Fredericksburg.
Hey,
What up?
not much. Just chilling and being the usual jobber.
So, alright,
Come up with a moveset and you won't be a jobber.
Ooh, that was a good one. Don't worry, I got you.
so Dante, what is the worst thing you've ever done to yourself?
Worst thing I've ever done to myself.
Like,
And
broken bone. I'm not talking about jail time because we all know we don't want to go there.
yeah, man, the butt story. So I could tell, but we'll go ahead and spare it about it for a moment. One of the worst things I actually did is I actually gave me a concussion by hitting the bottom of the ring.
How did you hit the bottom of the ring?
Now let me explain it to you like this. Because I was goofing around before training practice one day at the old NWA Virginia school. I slid underneath the ring, and I landed right on the floor. And I decided, okay, it's time for me to get up. And as usual, I tried to do a kick up. Unfortunately, that didn't go so well because it had this little metal port right beneath the ring. So instead of getting up, I hit the corner of that, and here's the results of it today. You could actually see my skull. It was great. It was great.
That's fantastic, Dante.
Yeah, I mean, I was bright.
So Eddie, so what's the eye from? What'd you do?
Wrestling happened to my face.
Wrestling happened to your face.
Wrestling happened to all this right here.
Okay,
Better known as Jeff Early's knee.
So what's the worst injury you've ever received? Not necessarily wrestling, but just that has broken you.
Two dogs ran over me when I was a kid and broke my collarbone.
Two dogs?
Yeah, I was real little and two dogs were running at me and just hit me and I did a flip and broke my collarbone when I was little. And see, I've broken my pinky toe being a dumbass and hit it on the coffee table when I was young. And I haven't had really bad injuries, knock on wood, but I've had I busted my lip, busted my nose open, and got a black eye now from wrestling, so it's all good.
So why broken? You saw that mysterious building. What was that about? You saw me talking to some people from Ground Zero about the times that they have injured themselves. And, well, let's just say that kind of is all leading to one thing, and a lot of the updates I'm going to give you kind of all revolve around one thing. I do want to very highly score the importance of foreshadowing, and for those of you who don't believe in a divine entity or God or whatever you want to name the person or the being that you believe in the most, I will fully admit I am a stupid human and I don't listen. And there was a lot of foreshadowing before what happened. You saw me talking to people about injuries that they had gotten. 2 weeks ago, there was a lot of things going on in my life, kind of about how I was feeling about wrestling, kind of how I was feeling just about some things that were going on. And I felt a little broken. My cell phone was destroyed. My work computer was having issues. A whole bunch of just things were just going on. I figured broken, perfect name for my next vlog. Well, so what you saw was filmed 2 weeks and 1 day ago on a Tuesday at Ground Zero down in Richmond. The next day on Wednesday, drove down to Richmond, and on my way down, I decided instead of getting gas on my way back, which I always do, I stopped off before, and I was like really running on E as it was, and it's weird because I never stop on the way down. I always stop on the way back. I started sparring with one of the trainees, and he had recently started taking judo. I used to compete in judo, so we started to spar. And he went, we'd stayed on the ground mostly, and someone kept telling me, don't stand up with him, don't stand up with him. Well, I stood up with him for literally 5 or 6 seconds. Now, even though I was kind of just playing around with him, because let's be honest, I trounced him a little bit, I underestimated his quickness. He came up for a leg sweep called Osotogari, and instead of sweeping the leg, he hooked his foot around my ankle, and I felt it coming. That was the weird thing. I knew what was coming next. And as the second he hooked my ankle, I was like, stop! Well, it was too late to say stop. He was in the midst of the throw, so my foot and knee stayed in place, and the rest of me went in another direction. Yeah, popping, cracking, wonderful sounds. And at first, I stayed there on the mat for a second. They iced it. Got up. It was tender, but I could kind of walk on it. It was like, okay. Got outside the ring with some help. Stood back up. It was like, okay, it's fine. And it wasn't fine. Popping, loud, cracking sounds, and felt this motion. If you put your hands together as hard as you can, especially at the knuckles, and then twist in opposite directions, that's exactly what I felt. Yeah, it was not a good sensation. Luckily, there were two people next to me, because they literally caught me. And they got me to the emergency room. And I want to go ahead and thank Kevin and Gordon and Ron and Donte, because not only did you guys make sure I got to the emergency room that I got looked at, that you all also stuck it out with me. And we all know what emergency rooms are like. And I'll be very honest, the emergency room I went to down in Richmond, amazingly quick. I couldn't believe the turnaround time it was between the time everything happened to the time I got out of there. So, you know, very big thanks to Henrico Medical Center down in Richmond. Very big thanks to Kevin, Gordon, Donte, and Ron. I really appreciate it. And like I said, some things were going on, and I really kind of need to know that there were other people who were out there around me. And right then and there, that really meant a lot to me, because I haven't necessarily felt that a lot, especially in this business. So I really, again, really appreciate it. But in the emergency room, luckily no bone damage. Was referred to an orthopedist, got my lovely crutches, which I have blinged out. I was having some issues with, my hands were cramping really bad. I'm not sure if you can even see it. I still have kind of like a red mark along my, this part of my palm and along here on my forearm. So I took apart a martial art kick pad, Velcroed it down, so my hands aren't cramping using this. But I was noticing that even before this, I put this pad on, I kept rubbing up my forearm and wrist right along this bar, and it kind of got even more once I added the padding. So I added the rest of the kick pad, which is actually helping to stop my forearm and wrist from hitting the metal pole and rubbing up against it, and it's doing a lot better than that was. Also have, when I left the emergency room, I had a brace from ankle to hip. Elevation, ice, all that great, wonderful stuff. Went to the orthopedist. They said just switch to a regular neoprene-based knee brace. I have the neoprene one with bands on the side, which brings me to what they've said so far. So they think possible medial meniscus tear and ACL damage in my right knee. Oddly enough, when they looked at my left knee, they thought I had ACL damage in my left knee. They said it felt like it was pulled and it had too much flexion. So, but they said, you know, you might not ever feel anything. Oddly enough, this is the right knee that I got all the damage. The left knee is the one that they're saying that ACL might also be damaged. My left knee is my bad knee. This is the knee that, you know, when winter hits, I have a problem standing up. Like there just won't be a knee there. I'll just fall. I won't really fall. I'll kind of catch myself, but still. So I was very happy with that. This leg and this knee is kind of holding up right now. Until about today, and it's starting to ache, like right above, like if you put your thumb right on top of where the kneecap is, that's exactly where I feel the pain. The right leg, where I feel the pain the most, well, it's kind of all over. I keep getting Charlie horses, like right above the kneecap in that lower quad area. I have pain that goes down from the left side of my knee, down underneath the kneecap and across. I have pain that goes from about 3 inches up along the right side of my right knee, down to about mid-calf. Kind of waxes and wanes. Having my knee up, honestly, the best feeling ever. I'm able to kind of bend my knee now, but I have to support it. I have to kind of hold underneath the thigh to allow the knee to bend. I have to do it slowly, because even when I go fast, it hurts. I always keep catching myself. I'll like roll, like I'll try to get out of the chair, or I'll be in bed and I'll roll, and my leg will kind of twist, or the leg will just bend to one side away from the knee, and oh god, it hurts. I'm not able to stand on it. When I do stand up on using the crutches, my lower half of my right leg and my foot turn red. It doesn't turn blue, doesn't turn purple, it just gets really red. They think it might have to do some with the inflammation. So on Monday, that mysterious building that I went to the very beginning, I got an MRI done at Medical Imaging Center, and I find out tomorrow from my orthopedist exactly what the damage is to my right knee. So will it be surgery? Will it be therapy? What will it be? I don't know. So when I know more, I will let you guys know more. But this has kind of affected everything, really, that's been going on in my life. For those of you who've been keeping up to date with my job search, I've kind of put everything on hold right now because, again, I'm not at a point where necessarily I feel like I have to leave the institution I'm currently at, or the place I'm currently working. When I say institution, I'm not in a psychiatric facility. God. I am working at a school, and I don't feel like I have to leave. I'm not at a point where, oh my gosh, I hate this place. Nothing like that at all. So I'm very okay with being here. But realistically, I could go to an interview, but when it comes down to being able to move to go work at a new place of employment, I don't know if I could move myself right now. So that kind of sucks. I mean, my dad had to come down earlier this week, excuse me, and he had to help me do my laundry because I couldn't carry my laundry down a flight of steps. Like that, I feel pathetic right now. I feel like useless to the world. So yeah, great, wonderful stuff. So the job search is suspended. Unfortunately, Ninjas vs. Zombies. I was supposed to do a big fight scene this past weekend and wasn't able to do it. I had to pull out of the fight scene. So I feel bad. I feel like I disappointed them. But they've been really great about everything. The director, was like, you need to take care of yourself. You are what is important. And we're not done with you. Don't think that you're just walking away from us. So that made me feel really good. They've never made me feel anything other than really good about what I was doing with them. I have a part in another movie, I think it's a television pilot that's coming up, and I can't tell you much more about it because I don't know if I have permission to talk about it yet. I let them know I was on questions. They're like, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's a thing. So that was really kind of cool. I really, really expected that to be a little bit more of an issue. So when I know more, when I have some other filming stuff coming up, I will let you know. Wrestling-wise, well, for me personally, not going to be much wrestling for probably a couple months, and depending, of course, if I get surgery or not, and then the impending physical therapy. Either way, yeah, great, wonderful times. But APW has an event this Friday. Ground Zero has an event on Saturday down in Hopewell at the Hopewell Community Center in Hopewell, Virginia. Next Saturday, the 26th, Pro Wrestling Unplugged returns to the Boyles World Gym at 11,000 Roosevelt Boulevard in Philadelphia. Ground Zero actually has an event as well down in Richmond at Harley Davidson. Part of it is I'm not going to be able to go to anything right now because I can drive. I kind of drive a little two-footed. I can use my right foot for the gas, left foot for the brake. Oddly enough, that was how I kind of learned how to drive, was two-footed. I know, random. I'm weird. I could actually drive completely with my left foot and be fine, but I can't get my right leg out of the way because I can't bend it like cross-legged. Yeah, pain. So tomorrow I find out what is going on with my knee. When I know more, I will let you guys know more. In the meantime, I want you to shoot me questions. Tell me what's going on with things and stuff, and any questions you might have that are out there about the world of wrestling or just anything. Anything. Why not? Go for it, dude. Awesome. So, and dudettes. Equal opportunity, of course. So, yes, please send me your stuff. I will respond. Hope all else is going well, and I will talk to you guys soon. Now, this is going to be fun. Oh, God. Gotcha.